Yellow.
We got a big update regarding the red dragonstone because now we have an inventory change. They have included, I think, like 10 more characters temporarily, mind you, but we have new characters added into the Baba Shop for the Tanabata celebration. So I'm going to be reading through this whole thing just to make sure we cover all the fine print, and then I'm going to be giving my thoughts on which characters among those and in general are worth considering at this time. But do keep in mind, in general, whenever it comes to these sorts of videos, you know the drill. I always say the same thing. In general, it is better to wait closer to the end of the interval period before actually picking up these characters. And while that may seem contradictory, you want to enjoy the characters while they're around, while they're hot. I just think for an item such as this, which is so hard to come by, and the recovery time after an expense is just so long, I think it's better to just be safe. And ultimately, if you don't even buy any of them, just establishing a buffer, I think, is a very important thing to do for this particular Baba Shop. Because remember back during the 11th anniversary when this whole update started, people got a bunch of extra stones. I think we got like 8 or 9 stones, and people went ahead and bought some of these characters, which is great because that's the whole point. But then a couple of months afterwards, we got the infamous Dokkan Frontier. And at this point, nobody had any of those red stones left, and nobody could pick up what is arguably the most important character coming out of Dokkan Frontier, AGL Ginyu. So people had to go through the excruciating process of waiting 3 months to actually get enough stones to buy this guy. And at that point, was it even worth it? Dokkan Frontier, for a lot of people, is the bane of Dokkan's existence. Like, they hate that mode, but you had to wait 3 months to get this character to clear an event that started 3 months earlier. Was it worth it? That's the thing. But when it comes to this, I think it's better to have an established buffer. I'm a whale, but I also have a buffer for just in case, like, down the road there's a character that's like really broken or really convenient to have. I might want to have multiple versions of the character, like a full dodge build version of the character or a full critical or whatever. So I myself have been stockpiling these red stones, not wanting to spend them for that exact purpose. So I just want to throw that out there. Let's go ahead and read this. Enough dilly-dallying. Let's go. Characters who can be recruited with the treasure item Select Dragonstone 11 for a limited time have been added. The treasure item Select Dragonstone 11 can be obtained through the Tanabata Purunga Dragon Ball campaign. You can also exchange the treasure item Milk for it. Seize the chance to recruit these characters after the event period ends for Tanabata Select Dragonstone Dokkan Festival. The available characters will return to those from the regular Dokkan Festival. I think that just means, like, these characters will just go away. Like, after the period ends, the 37 days, these guys will vanish and we'll go back to the original permanent stuff. The treasure item Select Dragonstone 11 can still be used after the available characters are updated. They're using updated here, meaning like when they go away. So, dude, when I see this, this makes me think, I don't think we're actually gonna get new characters like added into the mix. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe after a couple years they'll add like 1 or 2 pieces, but I think when they say this, God, would you stop? Okay. When it says the list of characters are scheduled to be updated on a regular basis approximately twice a year, I think they're just saying like temporary editions. I was questioning this when I made this video just a couple weeks ago, because this announcement was made June 11th when they announced that the Tanabata was going to be providing an additional lineup. But I think this ultimately just means like whenever we get temporary add-ons, that's the update, I think. I mean, so, you know, you can interpret it differently. So here are the characters that are being included. It doesn't show everybody, but it shows like some of the more prominent ones, I suppose. We have, what, 10 characters here? There's actually more. I think there's like 12. Because Piccolo, Chi-Chi, yeah, I think it's 12. Okay, so we got Gohan Trunks, we got Gamma 1, Gamma 2, we got Kid Gohan, Whis, Raditz, Nappa, General Blue, Trash Can, Android 18. How to get Select Dragonstone 11. Purunga Dragon Ball Campaign. Summon Purunga, select a specific wish. Did a video talking about this. In my opinion, I think this is a must get for everybody. Even for whales, this is a very hard resource to accumulate. So if you can get more whenever possible, you should. You can get 5 of these from the Purunga selections. So every week you get 1, you can get, you get 1 every week, so you get 5 total. It can also exchange 30 milk for a red stone. Treasure milk can be obtained from the daily mission Clear the Turtle School Roshi event. Oh, is that a hyperlink? Oh, this is a hyperlink now. That's not annoying. Okay. Get up to 6 Dragonstone 11s during the campaign period via the above means. So with the 1 month's worth of milk that you exchange plus the 5, you can get up to 6. So you should get that. Event period for the Transcendent, blah, blah, blah. This goes until August 5th. The regular characters are permanently available. All characters are going to be Dokkan Awakened at max level. 2 extra Elder Kais are attached to each one. They are not awakened. Number of stones required to exchange differs depending on the group the character is in. And that's it. Okay, so there's no mention here about the inventory being updated twice a year. So that's why I brought up this video. But twice a year is what we're looking at. And this started at the beginning of the year for anniversary. Actually, before anniversary, this started. So it was actually right at the beginning of the year. So now that we're in June, this marks 6 months. So I think we're probably not going to see another update until leading into anniversary, or at least leading into the New Year's celebration. That's my guess. But that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the talent here. Let's in general, the permanent characters, the ones that I like, are Majin Vegeta, Broly, Omega Shenron. Some of these other super easies have kind of fallen off a little bit, just because, you know, with the passage of time, these characters get a little bit less and less shiny. This guy is still very much relevant because when it comes to GT bosses, inhuman deeds, and just crowd control in general, this guy has great nerfing capabilities. He's also good slot 3 for, you know, Shadow Dragons. And that's a good AoE team. Speaking of AoE, these two guys are pivotal AoE characters for just crowd control in general. Cheesing certain events. This guy, if you guys remember my content for the Surging Army of Steel, I did like almost every video where inevitably I had to revert back to a Majin Vegeta setup to just nuke the team. This is a good character for not only that, any crowd control mission, but also World Tournament. World Tournament happens every few months. You get 50 stones for it. AoE characters are good for that, and these two characters are really, really solid. So these guys are must-haves in my opinion. And then depending on who you ask, Ginyu is also a must-have because of stupid Dokkan Frontier. So 3 red dragon stones for that. After that, it just depends on who you are and what you value. Back in the day, I did say that Yamcha is useful because guaranteed dodge, so he has his place. Golden Frieza, 90% damage reduction, good slot 1 presence, but these guys are more expensive. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was also solid. Nowadays, I don't know if I'm just gonna even push that. I'm just gonna say these 3 and this one. Actually, these 3. But now looking at the new ones, who would be the best among these, man? Because I guess we'll look at these. I kind of forgot how these guys are. Let's see. Gohan Trunks, Gamma 1, Gamma 2, Kid Gohan. I'm kind of thinking Whis is probably going to be the best choice. I think it's between like these 2 rows. These 5 or these 5. There's 7 here, dummy. Probably actually these 5. Nah, these 4. I think it's between these 4. But whatever, let's just look at all of them. So this guy, I mean, he's good for Hybrid Saiyans. He's good for Bond of Master and Disciple. He's good on the Future Saga team if you are running alongside the Int Gohan. Where's the Int Future Gohan? Is he not? Oh, they only have 4 links? Really? I would have thought it would have been more. Where's the regular Gohan? That dude, what? Hold on. I actually thought they had a lot more links. Let me see. Gohan. Wow, only 3? Wow. Oh wait, I'm dumb. That's because they're joined forces right now. Once they exchange, they link better. But this guy plus that Gohan, they're a good dynamic duo. So if you're trying to amass a solid Hybrid Saiyans team, there are missions out there that have plagued, you know, Dokkan players for a little over a year now that require Hybrid Saiyans. This is a good unit to pick up. But I wouldn't call him like ultra relevant right now, but hey, it's not always about relevant. Dokkan is a PvE game. It's not like Legends where timing is of the essence. You want to strike while the iron's hot. Some of these characters can still have value and retain that value on older challenge events if that's what you prioritize. But I wouldn't put him at the top of the list. Gamma is still very relevant because he's a good slot 1 for superheroes, especially when you run him alongside like the reversible exchange duo characters. We're just going to throw Beast Gohan out of the conversation here because while he doesn't fit Beast Gohan's leader skill, you're probably more likely to be running this dude as your lead anyway. Beast Gohan is not going to be as relevant as far as the leader skill for superheroes. But for other categories, yes, but not for this. So Gamma 1 still has his place. I would say that he would be up there. I think that he is still really solid. Even though he loses guard after 6 turns, I think that he will be a very solid option for people for slot 1s. Artificial life forms, accelerated battle, mission execution. You know, these are some categories with pesky missions out there that people still struggle with. So I'm gonna put him there. I'm gonna get this guy off the list. I'm gonna keep him there. Gamma 2, I mean, he's a damage dealer. He's a combo specialist. He's a slot 2, slot 3, not a slot 1. So again, it just depends on if you care about, you know, these specific categories for missions. I would say that he's less valuable than the Gamma 1, so I'm going to get him off the list. Kid Gohan, again, hybrid Saiyans. If you're trying to put together solid hybrid Saiyans, demonic power, this guy is good. He's a defense stacker. He has 58% damage reduction. He has guard for basically 4 turns. When you start the battle, guard for 3 turns. And then he will have 1 more turn of guard when he activates his active skill. He gives you some heals. He gives multi-turn team defense. This is not nearly as powerful as what we see nowadays, but still, for an older character, this guy is still pretty solid when contributing to a hybrid Saiyans team. So I'm gonna put him as a maybe. Yeah, I think he's kind of along the lines of the Gamma, probably less so, but he's good. I think after reading those, I think Whis is the best. Like, Whis is just the best. Dude's got 70% chance to dodge, 80% if you're fighting a Realm of God's enemy, 90% if you're with Beerus, the Int Beerus, and he gets dodgier with every dodge that he does. So the key to this guy, and the key to make him good, is to give him as high a dodge as you can to make his subsequent chain of dodges more easily achievable. If you start with a high hit potential dodge, actually let me show you his yeah, so I did a whole breakdown in his showcase talking about this. This is what's really good about the Whis. So what we're looking at here is a Whis without a Realm of God's enemy and without Beerus present. A hit potential 0 Whis versus a 30 hit potential. You start off with 70%. After 3 dodges, the differential between a 30 dodge hit potential and a 0 decreases, because at the beginning it's a 9% difference. So you have virtually an 80% chance to start the dodge chain. After 3 dodges in, you have a 4.5% differential between a 0 dodge Whis and a 30 dodge Whis. After 5 dodges, the margin is now 1.5%. So the point of giving more dodge to the character is to make his dodge chain easier to execute from the jump. And what's important about that is that it makes him a more viable option off lead. So not only is he going to be good on Realm of Gods, Bond of Master Disciple, or whatever you're trying to run him on, but if you're just trying to fill up a rotation, a team, this is one of those characters, kind of like the AGL MUI back in the day. When AGL MUI first came out, a lot of people would use that unit sort of as a cheese to just put together teams for categories they don't have enough of. Because with all that dodge, you have guaranteed dodge with MUI on the first turn, you have guaranteed dodge with MUI post revival, and then he gets dodgier with every dodge that he does. He's one of those characters that you might feel comfortable doing that with. The difference here is that he actually gets additional defense. He's got damage reduction to boot. And after he gets a super attack thrown at him, he gets guaranteed dodge within the turn, and then he has guaranteed crit and additional supers for multiple turns. He's actually a gift that keeps on giving. So I really like this guy. He's my #1 pick. And if we compare him to the permanent characters, I would still say that these two are #1 because they cost 1 Dragonstone each. But then I would say Whis is probably next. So Majin Vegeta, Broly #1. And then above Omega Shenron, I'm going to say Whis. Now that I looked at Whis, I don't think these guys are as worth it. I don't think Tech Raditz. I think Tech Raditz would probably be at the bottom here. Okay, this guy is good because he's on Terrifying Conquerors and he gives you a very rare but powerful ability. At full health, you're rocking 3,800% extra defense. That combined with 15% damage reduction before receiving an attack, that gives you a solid slot 1 option, a slot 0 option. I got to get used to that. People have been calling it slot 0. I say slot 1, frame 1, but yeah, slot 0 is a better option. When enemies attack in the slot 1, you need some characters that can handle that. Since this guy fits Terrifying Conquerors partially, he will work under Metal Cooler's leader skill. Metal Cooler doesn't really want to be in the slot 1 unless you've got the right orbs to pick up. This guy can lead the charge. He's not going to be in the full leader skill compatibility, but he gives good crowd control and he gives good support for crowd control. You're fighting multiple superclass enemies, more stats for your allies. Multiple enemies in general, more stats for your allies. He gets dodge if your health drops below a certain point. So I think that he is good. So I'm going to say Whis is going to be #1 among the temporaries. Whis #1. I'm going to say Nappa #2. And then I'm going to say I'll probably say Gamma 3. And then probably these two kind of tied for the last. These are among the temporary ones. But like I said before, I'm still putting Majin Vegeta and Broly above them. And then Whis afterwards. And remember, you can exchange these multiple times. So I wouldn't go for a rainbow for any of these guys, but you could go for multiple copies. And the cheaper they are, the better you could do it. Like if you want a 79% Majin Vegeta Super Easy, you get that with 3 red stones. The same amount that it would cost to buy 1 copy of Golden Frieza, 1 copy of Android 17. You get 1 copy of Whis for a 69% Majin Vegeta Super Easy. So there you go. Those are my thoughts. Ultimately, if you decide to not buy anybody, well, good news, you have 6 extra stones as a buffer for future inventory updates. When we get to the 12th anniversary, they will give us another update with these characters, either permanent or temporary, and some of those might be so busted that you might not only want 1, but 2 or even 3 characters, and you will be more than ready, because by then, with these 6 stones plus the additional 7 stones from just the months, that's 13 additional red stones. You are going to be loaded for 12th anniversary. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on these characters. Which ones would you choose? Do you agree with my takes on these red stones and stockpiling them? If you have anything else to add that I missed, feel free to do so in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you ladies know when I see more of my stuff. Do it. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned and ours run to Dokkan responsibly.